Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jersey Mike's Arena for tonight's 2023 Student Athlete Graduation Ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium Director of Athletics, Pat Hobbs.
Welcome to the 2023 Student Athlete Graduation Celebration. Now we know how loud this arena gets, so you got to keep that up the entire time here, right? Thank you. I want to first this is actually the first celebration of this type that we are doing with our student athletes. Last year we did something sort of small. And this year, the idea was to really celebrate the tremendous achievements of this group of people who are sitting in front of me and to invite all the families. So I want to thank Carrie Locke, Elise Washington, all of the staff who put this together. Please join me. All right, first I would like to introduce to you our dais party. Please give a warm welcome to our president, Jonathan Holloway. Our alumni speaker, Rutgers graduate and former football letter winner, Vaughn Calhoun. Our incomparable student athlete speaker, Hannah Joyner. Stand up, Hannah, come on, stand up. It's a wave. Assistant Athletic Director for Student Athlete Development and Success, Carissa Liverpool. Director of Academic Services for Student Athletes, Scott Walker. NCAA Faculty Athletics Representative, Dr. Tom Stevens. And our faculty mentors and members of the Academic Athletic Oversight Committee, Kevin Ewell, Antoinette Farmer, Ann Gould, Fran Hoffman, Nicole Hauser, Michelle Jefferson, and Amy Wallach. Graduates of the class of 2023, this is a really big moment for you. This whole time, this whole graduation exercise. So far, we've celebrated your accomplishments on the courts and on the playing fields. Today, we celebrate your accomplishments in the classroom. You are about to become graduates of Rutgers University, one of the finest academic institutions in the world. You are doing this because you put in thousands of hours of study outside the classroom, inside the classroom, and because you are student athletes, you've done it in very unique ways. You have studied on planes, you've studied on buses, you've studied in hotel rooms, you've studied in airports after the planes got canceled. You studied again in the airports after the next plane got canceled. Then you got on a bus and went 12 hours back from Chicago. I know our men's soccer team knows that very well. Got a lot of studying done during that time. So you should take great pride, as everybody here does, in your academic achievement today. So let me be the first on behalf of everyone here at Rutgers University to congratulate you all on a job well done. And I want to do the same thing that I did on the first day of our student-athlete orientation when I saw you over at Athletes Glen, and that is to say thank you. Thank you to all of you because you're really good at what you do. You're really good athletes, you're really good students, and you had a lot of choices on where to go to pursue your education, to pursue your athletic achievements. And so on behalf of everybody here at Rutgers, I want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing to be Scarlet Knights, and you know you're Scarlet forever. And now, because this is the last time you'll sort of be in a setting like this, I want to give you the opportunity to offer some thanks. All right, first to the group of people who you toiled in the fields and in the weight room and everywhere else. These are people, not all of them are here today, but these are your brothers, it's your brotherhood, your sisterhood for life, and those are your teammates. Some of them I know are up here and over here. So to those teammates who are sitting with you, to those teammates who are out there in the audience, please offer your thanks to all of them. And then there's another group that you should thank. They started following you a long, long time ago, and then they started recruiting you. And they started making efforts to convince you to come and to compete for Rutgers University. And then there's the group, once you arrived, that have supported you, whether in the training room, whether nutrition, whether the strength room. Incredible efforts by many people to be the team behind you. And starting with your head coaches down through all of those staff, why don't you offer them all your appreciation? And then there's one more group you need to thank, and these are the people that have been with you from the very beginning. When you were first born in that hospital or wherever that might be, and very early on they probably put a ball in your hands or a racket or something and said to you before you could speak you were destined for athletic greatness at Rutgers University. You didn't know that at the time, but they were right. And those people have followed you every step of the way. I don't know how old you were when you started those sports, the different sports you were in, but I know a lot of you ended up on travel teams, and they were the people that drove you. They were the people that ate the cold pizza in those hotel rooms. They were the people who sat for hours in the searing heat or the freezing cold. And I met one great-grandmother of one of our rowers here today, and she's sitting over here very proudly wearing her Block R. These are your loved ones, the families that have followed you and supported you every step of the way. They are bursting with pride out there. And they're not actually seeing you the way you are right now. They're remembering that 3-year-old. They're remembering that first day that you went to school with your Power Rangers lunchbox. They're all out there. Why don't you stand and give your families a big round of appreciation. And I say to all the families, on behalf of Rutgers University, thank you. Thank you for sending your loved ones to us. Thank you for entrusting them to us. They're remarkable people. They're going to go on to achieve great things, and that's because of the upbringing, the way that you have, everything that you did through their childhood, and then delivering them to us and entrusting us here at Rutgers University, so thank you. For many of you, this will be the end of your academic journey. Others will pursue graduate degrees, some here at Rutgers, some elsewhere. Some of you will go on to play professionally, here or around the world. Many of you will live and work far from here. But no matter what you do or where you are Scarlet forever. Congratulations, class of 2023. It is now my great pleasure to introduce to you the president of Rutgers University, Jonathan Holloway.
Thank you and good afternoon. Congratulations, Rutgers class of 2023. While you all wore the Rutgers uniform with pride, it is a special pleasure to see you wear the Rutgers regalia this afternoon. The cap and gown that symbolizes the completion of your academic program here at Rutgers. We've rooted hard for you in competition for good reason, not just for your talent, but the way you have conducted yourselves. In wearing the scarlet and black, you have represented Rutgers so well throughout your careers. I was a student athlete myself. I understand how much work you've put in, both in the sport you've played and in the field of study you pursued. I understand the sacrifices you've made to compete at Rutgers, to excel at Rutgers, to earn your degrees. And I suspect that it seems like not long ago that you were adjusting to the newness of being at Rutgers. For a good number of you, that means you had to navigate the COVID pandemic and all the challenges and trials it represented. And frankly, all of you and your loved ones have your own stories to tell about these difficult times. Through all of those challenges, you persevered. You battled against Big Ten opponents who are not as good looking as all of you, we know that, against coursework deadlines, despite pandemic restrictions that disrupted the rhythms of your training routine. I can't tell you how excited I have been to cheer you on. Actually, I'm not supposed to favor any particular sport, but a special thanks to lacrosse teams for all the lacrosse balls I get to keep that end up on my property. Our dogs appreciate the running and chasing. I'm so excited to cheer all of you on. You have etched your names into Scarlet Knight's history. You've made us so very proud. And to know that you are now just days away from becoming Rutgers University graduates and alumni forever makes us all that much more proud. You have been told countless times that you could not, but you did. You've been told countless times that you wouldn't, but you have. Look at who you are and all that you've accomplished. Feel proud of yourselves. I know that we are. Congratulations again, and thank you.
Thank you, President Holloway. I'm delighted to introduce our next speaker to you, one of your own, student athlete, Hannah Joyner. Hannah will graduate with honors when she receives her Bachelor of Arts in Social Work from the New Brunswick School of Arts and Sciences next week. She has consistently performed at the highest level in all 4 years, achieving many accolades along the way. But in her senior year, she rewrote the Rutgers history books. She broke a 10-year-old program record for all-around score with a 39.525 in the Illinois dual, winning bars with a 9.9, beam with a 9.925, and by the way, they were both 10s actually, and becoming the first Rutgers student athlete to be named Big Ten Gymnast of the Week. She's the third gymnast in Rutgers history to advance to the Nationals. She's the first gymnast in Rutgers history to advance to Nationals on beam. She's the first gymnast in Rutgers history to reach 9.9 in all 4 events. There were actually 10s as well. She's posted a 9.9 or higher on beam 23 times. Named first team All Big Ten, becoming the first in program history to earn 4 nods to the Big Ten's first team All Conference list. She holds the school record for the most 9.9 or higher scores with 40 career 9.9s. She's the school record holder in all-around at 39.575. She's the school record holder on beam with a 9.950 3 times. And I'm told Hannah is obsessed with Dance Moms and recently went to Dance Moms boot camp and happily met Abby Lee Miller. So you'll have to ask her about that afterwards. Please join me in welcoming Hannah Joyner.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, President Holloway, distinguished faculty, administrators, family, coaches, teammates, and friends. It is a great honor for me to be able to speak on behalf of the 2023 student senior class. In the past 4 years, I have grown comfortable being in the spotlight here in Jersey Mike's Arena. Being on this stage, speaking in front of all you, however, is new for me. I would describe myself as shy and quiet and was hesitant to accept this invitation. But standing here in this moment, I am filled with pride and I feel at home. The concept of home isn't one I've paid much attention to until now. My story begins as the daughter of a military man, my father Steve, who served in the Air Force for 30 years before retiring. That meant countless moves for our family of 5 before we settled in Maryland. When I was just 12 years old, I moved to North Carolina, where I trained at 2 different gyms before taking a leap of faith to move with my mom, Donna, to Texas. There, I was fortunate to train at World Champion Center with many talented gymnasts, including Simone Biles. In Texas, my family expanded to include my exceptional coach, Amy Borman, who then I followed to Sarasota, Florida, for the next 3 years. During this time, I met Umi Celine Beasley and committed to Temple to be coached by her. I loved the school. I loved that they offered the academic program. I wanted to study, but mostly I loved Umi. So when she moved to Rutgers the summer before my freshman year, I moved with her. And fun fact, Jenna Ferguson did too. Given my childhood experiences, moving wasn't an issue for me. I wanted the best facilities and the best coaches. I wanted to train with the best competition, and for college, I wanted the best academics. What I didn't realize was I needed a home. That's what you are, Rutgers. You are home for me, the one place I've landed the longest, and I love it here. I love the fast-paced city life and the grind. I love the diversity and the feeling of being in the midst of different people who are all living their busy lives. At Rutgers, I began to understand that you don't need to have the same background or the same goals to be connected to one another. It started as soon as I moved on campus my freshman year. I lived in Stonier Hall with a member on the women's golf team. Her name was Anna, and she was from Germany. In the midst of our countless trips to Honeygrow and Starbucks at the yard, we learned about each other as we figured out how to do this college thing. It was a warm and friendly way to start what would ultimately end up being a really challenging time when the pandemic hit. What a very tough year that was. The world was shut down, but we were still pushing through. I remember an enormous amount of frustration and loneliness. I leaned on my teammates and found comfort in knowing we were all going through this together. I don't know if it was true for all teams, but sharing that year brought us closer than we think it would have under normal circumstances. I missed the competition due to quarantine and made it to regionals but couldn't compete because of COVID. We learned how to deal with circumstances that were beyond our control. We learned how to take care of ourselves while still looking out for one another. I am so incredibly proud of how we rallied and persevered. Before we knew it, we were back in person and better than ever. It was exhilarating to see the growth and connection of such difficult times led us to success. One of my favorite memories will always be when we beat the school record. Other favorite memories are traveling with my team and meeting athletes from different sports. We went to football games with our recruits and soccer games with our friends. Crossing paths with other athletes on a regular basis allowed me to feel seen and known outside of gymnastics. It was a great feeling to be a part of a community that acknowledges each other and is friendly. Before I knew it, 3 years had passed, so much had happened, and I could feel myself changing as I entered my senior season. While I was still fiercely driven in competition, I found myself more fulfilled when watching my teammates succeed. I wasn't stressed about my career coming to a close. I could see a clear path for my future starting to unfold. My dad has always had a saying, "Why walk when you can fly?" and it kept emerging in my thoughts. I realized that it wasn't just a mantra for the next competition or event, it was a mantra for life. My passion for social work degree is rooted in a strong desire to understand and help others. I realized I was already applying those lessons as a teammate and captain. I'm at peace with my career. This chapter in the book of Hannah is closed. It was a beautiful chapter, but I am ready to write my next one. I want to coach. I want to own my own gym 5 to 10 years from now. My dream job is to coach at the Olympics. I want to help others in the way so many have helped me. I know every single one of us sitting here today feels an enormous sense of gratitude for the support system we have at Rutgers. This seemingly giant place has so many people you can count on. Those who help guide you through a rough day, talk through a challenging decision, or celebrate a big win. I know many of us can't imagine navigating life without our academic advisor. Thank you, Monique, for helping me these past 4 years. While I enjoyed athletic success, you helped me keep academics in forefront. Balancing both has been a main priority for me, and you understood that and made it your priority as well. There are so many staff members committed to our professional development, including Carissa, Kate, Jeff, and Matt Sudam, for me personally. Thank you for making sure I had my career, finance, and compliance ducks in a row. To the staff committed to our health and well-being, which includes, for me, Tim, Micaiah, Bobby, Jen, Mickey, Lorenzo, Mike, DeMarco, and Katie. Thank you for finding ways to educate us about our bodies, our nutrition, and recovery. And to Umi, Mike, Tasia, and Danny, you have helped inspire my next chapter. I didn't realize while it was happening, but I was getting the best experience for a future in coaching by being coached by the best, trained by the best, and supported and developed by the best. Just like all of you, I can't know for certain what the future holds, but I do know this: I will forever be a Jersey girl. I can't wait to come back to all the events as a fan and alum. Rutgers will always be home. You will always be family, and I am a Scarlet Knight for life. Thank you.
Great job. Great job. Once more for Hannah Joyner. Our next speaker has been a professor of Spanish in the Department of Spanish and Portuguese at Rutgers since 1981. He holds a BA and Master's from the University of South Carolina and a PhD from the University of Michigan. Tom Stevens has served as Rutgers faculty athletics representative for the NCAA since 2002. Please welcome Tom Stevens.
I hear you up there. I hear you. So as Pat said, I'm Tom Stevens. I am a professor of Spanish, the faculty rep to the NCAA, and the faculty mentor for the only team that forgot its robe this afternoon. Am I right? Men's lacrosse. Thank you, men's lacrosse, for making me look great. Right? As Pat mentioned, we have some very distinguished people on the dais today, and these are both faculty mentors and members of the Academic Oversight Committee. And we're very proud of you, all of you, and very happy that you're taking this next step. Allow me to introduce my colleagues, but first to give you a little explanation of what faculty mentors are and what the Academic Oversight Committee has done. Faculty mentors serve the important role of connecting student athletes with individual professors. Some of you know me fairly well because of this experience, right? Probably some of you would like to know me less well. These volunteers foster understanding between the university's faculty and staff members, coaches, and student athletes, and provide these students with role models outside their normal academic and athletic environments. Mentors may serve as ad hoc career advisors, postgraduate academic counselors, just someone to have a cup of coffee with. Coaches use these mentors for recruiting events. I saw Umi on the screen up there. I know Umi is a really big proponent of this. Coach, Shiano, I could list almost every single one of you. Use us for recruiting events, academic advice, other appropriate stuff. The mentors report through me to the Chancellor and ultimately to President Holloway. The Academic Oversight Committee, AOC, serves as the campus athletics board for Rutgers, New Brunswick only. It is primarily responsible for the academic management of the admission of New Brunswick student athletes, the monitoring of their academic progress, and all issues affecting the academic integrity of athletics program. The committee reports directly to the Chancellor and ultimately to the President. As I call their name, I would like them to stand and be recognized quite briefly, and I'll tell you who they represent. Dean Kevin Ewell, men's and women's track and field and cross country, faculty mentor, assistant dean for student services, School of Communication and Information. Thank you, Kevin. Dr. Ann Gould, AOC member, associate vice president and professor of plant biology, School of Environmental and Biological Sciences. And the mother of a proud Rutgers graduate of Rutgers soccer. Mr. Fred Hoffman, men's basketball, wrestling faculty mentor. He is assistant professor of professional practice at the School of Business. Thank you. Dr. Nicole Hauser, faculty mentor for field hockey. She is associate teaching professor at the Department of English. Thank you, Nicole. Just for most of you, the next person I'm going to recognize doesn't need introduction. Dr. Michelle Jefferson, women's basketball faculty mentor, associate dean of student contact and conflict resolution. Thank you, Dean. And finally, Dr. Amy Wallach, gymnastics faculty mentor, senior assistant dean of enrollment management and academic affairs administration in the Graduate School of Education. Thank you. We also want to recognize today, since this is about you, right? It's supposed to be about you, I think. We want to recognize the members of Chi Alpha Sigma, the National College Athlete Honor Society. Chi Alpha Sigma is an organization that recognizes college student athletes who excel both on and off the field of competition. The society is the first academic fraternity that specifically recognizes four-year college student athletes for their athletic and academic success. To be invited to membership, undergraduate college student athletes must participate in a sport at a varsity intercollegiate level, achieve junior academic status or higher after their fifth full-time semester, and earn a 3.4 or higher cumulative grade point average. I'd like to invite the members of the graduating class who've been initiated to stand and be recognized. If you don't remember if you've been initiated, it took place during a football game in the fall. Both the president and the AD were there with Chancellor Francine, Chancellor Provost Conway. So if you were there for that event, or if you think you got an email about it, please stand now. Wow. Woo. Stay standing. Stay standing. Now, everybody else who's been initiated, who's not graduated yet, join them. Student athletes who are members of Chi Alpha Sigma. Please stand. Anybody left? Nobody's left? Well, congratulations, guys. Thank you. You can have a seat. Congratulations. We're very proud of you. As we say in Spanish, adelante, siempre adelante. Onward, ever onward. We look forward to being your touchstone here on the banks whenever you return. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Our next speaker is Dr. Vaughn Calhoun. Dr. Calhoun is a highly respected academic leader and currently serves as the Assistant Vice President and Dean of the Center for Academic Success at Seton Hall University. In this role, he leads a portfolio of units including first-year academic advising, student-athlete academic advising, the Career Center, the Tutoring Center, the First Generation Program, Transfer Center, and ROTC. Do you ever sleep? Dr. Calhoun is a former scholarship football student athlete who earned 3 varsity letters here at Rutgers University. Raised in Seaside, California, he's also a first-generation college graduate who went on to earn a Master's of Public Policy and Administration from California State University, Long Beach, and a Doctorate of Education from Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts. Please welcome Dr. Vaughn Calhoun.
Hello, hello, hello. It is so good to be back home on the banks. But most importantly, it's so good to be able to celebrate with each of you today. But first, just let me express my sincere gratitude to Mr. Pat Hobbs, our athletic director, for providing us this tremendous opportunity to recognize each and every one of you. Thank you so much, sir. And I would also like to take a moment to thank President Jonathan Holloway for gracing us with your presence today. We appreciate you, sir. You've made this event even more special. Thank you. And to our coaches, faculty, members of the athletic staff, thank you for your tireless efforts in everything that you do. We could not do what we do without you. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. And to the families, the friends, the teammates, thank you for always being here. Your presence means the world to us. And to the class of 2023, my fellow Scarlet Knights, congratulations. Let me ask you a question. Did you ever think this day would come so soon? Probably not. I didn't, because let me tell you, time really does fly. It's been 20 years since I graduated. They call me an old head now, but that's okay. I embrace it. I embrace that title. Because you see, right now, Rutgers will always be my home. And right now, Rutgers, I hope, will always be your home. But I have so many memories of being here at Rutgers, and I just think back to hanging out at the Hale Center with my teammates. I think about the times going down to Giovanelli's, grabbing a slice, or going to Stuff Your Face and having a fish bowl or 2 or 3. Not on the same night, okay? Not on the same night, right? But it's been 20 years, and I was sitting in your seats, and I had one simple question, just one. Somebody here asked me, what was your question? What'd you say? Oh, okay. I'm so glad you asked. My question was, what's next? What's next? You see, as student athletes, you always knew what was next, right? So much of your lives was regimented. Maybe you had 7 a.m. mandatory breakfast. Maybe you had an 8 a.m. lift. Maybe you had classes from 10 a.m. to around 1 o'clock. Then around 2 o'clock, you might have had to go to treatment, get tape, and then you had team meetings at 3 o'clock. Then maybe around 4 to 6, you had practice. Then you had to go to dinner, and then study hall if you were like me. Does that sound vaguely familiar to anybody in here? Yes, no, maybe so. So the thing that I find interesting is perhaps some of you can't wait to move forward because you have a job lined up. You have grad school lined up. You know what's next. And let me tell you, that is awesome. But then for some of you, you might feel a little bit nervous or maybe a little bit uneasy because you don't have grad school lined up or you don't have a job lined up, right? And that was me, right? Not knowing what was next. But you see, there's this myth. There's this myth that says you have to know exactly what you're going to do after you graduate college, right? You're a college grad. You've been here 4 years, 5, maybe for some of you. You should have life figured out, right? Yes, no? Have you heard that from somebody before? But the truth is, right now, some of you might be struggling with the simple fact of, who will you be without your sport? Let me say that again. Who will you be without your sport? And I'll speak for myself, right? Football defined me. When ball was good, I was good. When ball was bad, I was bad. There was no separation of the two. And then one day, ball was over, and it was just me, right? It was all just me. But I have good news. Someone say good news. Oh, come on, you can say it a little bit louder than that. Someone say good news. Okay, y'all sound mighty fine. So the good news is it's okay if you don't know what's next, right? It sounds a little scary. You might feel a little bit uneasy. But once upon a time when I was 22 years old, when I was sitting in your seats, I didn't know what was next. So I made a promise to myself. I said, I'm going to try everything until I find my thing. So what did that mean? For me, that looked like selling copy machines door to door in Los Angeles as my first job out of college. Then I took a job shredding paper for 8 hours a day, making $10 an hour. I took a job as a doorman. I interned for Congress. Then I became a political field organizer. Then I thought, I'm going to be a police officer, so I took the LAPD officer's exam. Then I thought, wait, maybe I want to go to law school, so I took the LSATs. And I said, wait, no, I don't think I want to do that. So then I went on and earned a master's. Then I worked in insurance claims, and then I even cut hair on the side, and one time, just one time only, I even acted in a music video, though my scene was cut out, and I'm still a little bit salty because of that, but I digress, okay? But listen, as a child of a military dad and an immigrant mother, they thought I was insane. They was like, boy, what's wrong with you? Just find yourself a steady job. But you see, what I was trying to do was trying to redefine myself outside of sport, like many of you will. And it took most of my 20s to kind of figure it out, but then I settled into higher ed in my late 20s, became a professor, then a dean and vice president. But check this out. Being a student athlete prepared me for life after sports, and it has prepared you too. You just might not know it. Someone said, yeah, I appreciate you. You see, being a student athlete has given you and I a special set of skills, the ability to take on what's next by being able to learn, relearn, and make adjustments. And interestingly, it said that college graduates today will have 17 different jobs across 5 different industries during their lifetime. So the hallmark of your generation will be marked with constant change and pivots. And think about it. Even though your life was regimented, right? Every week you had to learn a new opponent. Every week you had to learn new plays. And perhaps every year you got a new set of teammates. Maybe you got a new head coach, maybe a new position coach. But guess what? You still got it done. Why? Because that's what we do, right? As student athletes, we learn how to adjust. We know how to take on what's next. So when you ask yourself the question, what's next? Remember, this is not a new concept for you. Being a student athlete, you always attack this question. So now, rather than applying it to sport, you're just gonna apply it to life, right? So don't be intimidated or made to feel uneasy by this question. use your training as a student athlete to continually attack this question. And like I said, if you don't know what's next, that's okay, right? And I don't know what your next will be, but I do know if you attack it, just like you did here, your next is going to be awesome, and you're going to be all right. So class of 2023, my fellow Scarlet Knights, my fellow alumni, congratulations. And as one of my old coaches used to say, which has become a mantra here at Rutgers, just keep chopping. Just keep chopping. Thank you.
Dr. Vaughn Calhoun. Before I introduce our next speaker, I do want to single out a group who were briefly mentioned earlier, but they play such an important role in this achievement, the academic achievement. I'm going to ask, because they were helping out get everything organized today, I'm going to ask all of our academic advisors to please stand so we can express our appreciation to you. Stand up. Thank you. And now to announce this year's Big Ten Postgraduate Scholarship recipients, I'm going to invite Scott Walker to the podium. Scott has been at Rutgers since 2004. He oversees the entire academic program for our more than 700 student athletes, leading a team of 15 professionals who you just saw standing up. He's a Princeton graduate, former football coach, and a parent of Kyle, who lettered here in baseball. Please welcome Scott Walker.
Well, one of the problems with going at the end is most of my things have been taken or spoken. But first of all, everyone here, the graduates, you owe a deep gratitude of thanks to President Holloway. I think this is the first group that doesn't have their diploma held hostage by parking tickets. All right? Thank you. All right? And then, unfortunately, parents, it's going to be on you. All right? But every year, the Big Ten awards a postgraduate scholarship to one male and one female student who have excelled in the classroom and intend on enrolling in a graduate program. And our recipients excelled not only in the classroom, but also in their sport. This year, our winners come from men's golf and field hockey. So I'd like to have come up to the stage Rachel Houston and Xavier Marco.
Congratulations, Rachel and Xavier. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, hearing your name for your academic achievements. I invite John Reardon and Elise Washington to come up here for the reading of our names and a procession.
Women's rowing, Gabrielle Bagdonis. Charlotte Barker. Olivia Coffey. Catherine Conover. Megan Evans. Elena Feaster. Tanisha Franca. Elizabeth Henschel. Julia Hoff. Molly Hopping. Louisa Coleman. Rosemary Marsala. Alexis Nguyen. Christina Pender. Elise Starr. Emma Steinbushel. Kai Varkamp. Ellen White. Volleyball. Samantha Graver. Rachel Tam. Men's golf. Brendan Hansen. Xavier Marcoux.
Football, Charles C.J. Hansen. Christian Izian. Keenan Reed. Aaron Young. Men's basketball, Andrew Fullen. Oscar Palmquist. Cam Spencer. Field hockey, Amanda Beck. Rachel Houston. Maggie Lamb. Isabella Mancini. Carly Snarsky. Annie Walsh. Women's soccer, Allison Lynch. Naya Vilva. Grace Walter.
Men's track and field, Anand Bridget. Joshua Mather. Adebowale Smith. Antonio Tarantino. Micah Wood. Women's track and field, Courtney Campbell. Sadaf Manjara. Claudine Smith. Jasmine Van Note. Men's cross country, Hamza Barkouch. Jonathan Fantana. Christopher Hill. Tyler Kelly. Ryan Mitchell. Women's cross country, Yelena Alpal. Shelby Whetstone.
Please welcome our softball team. Taylor Fawcett. Ashley Hitchcock. Taylor Lane. Peyton Linkevich. Maya Mancini. Jaden Vickers. Courtney Wild. Kirsten Withstanley. Please welcome our gymnastics seniors, Caitlin Bertola. Jenna Ferguson. Hannah Joyner. Jordan Zaiden Weber. Our lone wrestling senior, Robert Kennard.
Up next, women's basketball, Cassandra Brown. Awa Sidibe. Women's swimming and diving, Sophia Chichikina. Jenna Douglas. Julia Gadini. Rachel Kimmel. Catherine Saladin. Alice Scarabelli. Yael Weber. Beatrice Zobetos Santos. Women's lacrosse, Megan Ball. Riley Ban. Jessica Beneducci. Jenna Byrne. Janie Galski. Marin Hartshorn. Lindsay Newton. Caroline Perry. Cassidy Spillis. Women's golf, Leah Devine. Nicole Ewing. Maeve Rossi.
Please welcome to the stage our men's soccer seniors, Randy Aronis, Hugo Legwenick, Anthony O'Donnell, Jackson Temple, Chris Teo, Keegan Vetter, our men's lacrosse seniors, Mitchell Baker, Brian Cameron, Eric Civity, Noah Daniels, Ryan Decker, Jonathan Dehenio, Andrew Kim, Justin Kim, Quinn Lewis, Kyle Mullen, Ethan Rawl, Robert Russo, Ross Scott, David Sprock,
Joseph Newman.
Please welcome our baseball team. Andy Axelson, pitcher Sam Bello, pitcher Jake Marshall, Daniel Melnick, outfielder Evan Slight. Please welcome first baseman, senior Jordan Sweeney.
Let's thank John and Elise for that great pronunciation. We've now reached the conclusion of our program, and I'm going to invite everyone to a reception in the back of Jersey Mike's Arena here. But before we do that, I'm going to ask all of our graduates to stand. Come on, one more time. Give it up for the class of 2023.